Hello, friends. Welcome to Historical Reflection. And how are you doing today? Today, we are discussing a very important king and a very important war, which actually generated some political and cultural upliftment of India. So, coming to this war, and this is a war which is being fought by Bimbisara. And when we talk about Bimbisara, he is one of the prominent king of Mauryan dynasty, and as you know, he ruled around the 320 BC to 273 BC, and he is known as the slayer of enemies. He was so fierce, he was so dynamic. He is a very great commander of the army. And you know why Bimbisara is remembered? There are many aspects of Bimbisara which is associated with his personality, with his administration, with also his name. Now, Bindusar is actually remembered as the son of Chandragupta, the dynasty founder of Maurya, as you know, and he is also famous as the father of Ashok the Great. Despite his important role in consolidating Mauryan Empire, but his life is mostly, there are many legends which are associated with that, and to maintain, to administer this kingdom which is being given to him by Chandragupta, he has really played a vital and pivotal role in that. Now, a very popular legend claimed that Chanakya, the Chandragupta Maurya's advisor, who saved Bindusar from poisoning during his mother's pregnancy and leaving some drop, and that's what we call a bindu in Hindi, of poison on his body, and that is why his name Bindusar is inspired from. So Bindusar inherited, as I told you, a vast empire from Chandragupta, stretching from Hindu Kush to Bengal and from Himalayas to Deccan, suggesting that Bindusar primarily focused on consolidating these territories rather than expanding. But there is definitely a war which is very famous when we talk about Magadha conquest, because the conquest of Magadha actually became a very pivotal extension or pivotal point in administration and the war of Mauryan Empire, which eventually passed to Ashok the Great. Now, Bimbisara was an ambitious and visionary king, as we had been discussing. And when we talk about his conquest of Magadha, everybody should know that he was a very shrewd politician. He controlled the cultural power of that era in this his empire, and the military power was on the peak when we talk about his army and army administration also. Now, Bimbisara conquest of Magadha set the stage to rise a great empire, and definitely it shaped the destiny of Indian subcontinent. And Bimbisara whole expansion was of Magadha was strategic, and he employed a blend of warfare alliances with the matrimonial diplomacy as well as with war. And Bimbisara campaign targeted the neighboring kingdom and tribal confederations also to ensure the rise of his kingdom. So this is how ensuring the supremacy of Magadha, this is how controlling the Gangetic plains which are fertile. And the most notable achievement of Bindusar was that combining the kingdom of Anga, a region renowned for a rich resources and strategic position. This conquest not only expanded the Magadha boundaries, but also secured vital trade routes and boosting the economic and cultural influence on the whole kingdom and the whole subcontinent. The Bimbisara administration was also one of the remarkable, because then when we have a good administration, then only you can consolidate the administration, you can consolidate the kingdom and the empire, and then then go for war. And that is one of the very remarkable aspect of Bindusar's whole personality. So Bindusara was remarkable as his military conquest. He laid the foundation of centralized and efficient government system, ensuring stability and prosperity within the kingdom, within the state. And his capital, Rajgirha, now modern day Rajgir, was a hub of trade, culture, and intellectual pursuits. Now coming back to Bindusara, as we have mentioned that he was a shrewd politician, he was a very able commander, he was a good administrator, and primarily it is he focused on the expansion of two things. That is, first is administration, maintaining the kingdom, and of course expansion of his territories, because eventually after the whole empire, which was really vast, was given to Ashok the Great. Now when we talk about legacy of Bindusara, and we must actually acknowledge, or we should understand, that Bindusara whole administration, the time was a bridge between the foundational work of Chandragupta and the transformative rule of Ashok. So while he was overshadowed by his predecessors and successor, because eventually when we talk of Chandragupta, we always say the great Chandragupta, and when we talk about Ashok, we also say that he is one of the greatest king of Indian subcontinent. But the contribution of Bindusara was immense, because he worked as one of the stabilizing and the governance of modern empire, modern kingdom in Indian subcontinent. His diplomacy, his administrative focus, his management was definitely a challenge, but he managed that into a very, very intelligent way with the wisdom, and laid the groundwork for Ashok for his later achievement. Now, when we talk about, we have few aspects which I want to discuss about Bindusara's foreign policy. Now, when we talk about the foreign powers, Bindusara maintained diplomatic ties with the Greeks, and as you know, that Megasthenes, who was also stationed with the Chandragupta Maurya's time, he was also actually was there with Bindusara's administrative empire, and he has also mentioned his contribution in some written books. So at one place it was also mentioned that there was a trade, and most of the time Bindusara was actually more interested in getting sweet wines and dried figs from these areas like Greek and Hellenistic world. So this is again creditable to Bindusara. So when we talk about Bindusara, he actually was died around 273 BC, and with the source which mentioned, it was definitely his death was actually became a very fierce succession struggle, because Buddhist text actually mentioned that Ashoka eliminated all his brothers to secure the throne. But we will be discussing about Ashok and some other episode, but today I would like to credit the whole maintenance and consolidating of modern empire to Bindusara, and the legacy of Bindusara, which is Magadha conquest, as a testament to far-sighted leadership of Bindusara by uniting a few regions which was away, and of course shared that identity and transferring Magadha into a formidable empire. So this is something which I want to discuss about this wonderful and this a king who is a far-sighted, who has planned things for his kingdom, for his other generation, and eventually the impact of his whole policies and administration even later can be seen in further kingdoms which ruled the Indian subcontinent at that point of time. So looking forward for your suggestion, you want to add into this Bindusar's legacy, you want to add something on Bindusar contribution, we'll love to read it and share to our viewers also. So I'll be meeting again with next episode of historical reflection with a great profile. Till then, bye bye and take care.